Whoa, it's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Why do you have a spare tire in your car? Do you actually visualize getting a flat? Or is it one of the potential hazards of driving that you could get a flat tire? And that gets me, I was having an interesting conversation with a young man last night, and we were talking about visualization, like visualizing your future. And he was talking about how he didn't want to, he was visualizing this thing, and then all of a sudden, like, he flipped on the computer and there was super bad news related to that subject matter. And he was kind of tripped out that that was part of his visualization. And I was been thinking about it, about how visualization of like how you want your future to look is like a muscle, right? Like when you first start doing it, you don't really know what you're doing it, because the subconscious is a really, really powerful entity, and the ego is a really powerful entity within your mind, right? And so when we visualize what we want or think it's supposed to look like at said future point, it comes with a lot of baggage that we're not aware of, because generally, and again, I speak from my own experience, we're not visualizing with a blank canvas. We're visualizing with a bunch of residual baggage, if you will. And we're also visualizing with a lot of subliminal stuff or subconscious stuff we're not even aware of. And we're also visualizing from a place of ego. Like, oh, if I want it to look like this because I want to be that, or I want this to happen. Like, you know, I'm one of those. Like, surfing's a prime example. Like, yeah, I want to be surfing sandbar points down in Mexico. And if I visualize that, why am I visualizing that? Because I'm addicted to surfing, and the waves kind of suck around here, and if I go down there, I'll score, it'll be this. But like, why I want to put myself down there surfing sandbars in Mexico comes with a whole bunch of like baggage unbeknownst to me. And so that visualization could lead to all sorts of trouble. First of all, Mexico's not the safest place in the world to just go like bouncing around in, right? So I could actually end up in Mexico as, oh, that's where I wanted myself, but not realize that maybe I ended up in Mexico and now I'm getting kidnapped, or I smash my face on my surfboard down there, or I don't know, I get robbed, or any sort of negative realities, because where I think the visualization of how future is supposed to look, future, what a weird concept, anyway, looks is, it's always supposed to be good, and we don't take into account all the potential pitfalls of our visualization, because we're trying to visualize how we want it to look in this sort of blissful state, and yet that's not always the reality that we experience here in the 3D landscape, right? We have to be aware that we could get a flat tire, and we prepare appropriately, right? I gotta fix a flat in my car, I got a spare tire, I got a jack, I got all the stuff I need in case I do get a flat tire. Am I visualizing having a flat tire? Absolutely not. But I'm prepared for a flat tire. So what I've begun to realize is anytime I think I'm visualizing how the future looks, it's garbage. It's just a bad idea, because I'm not doing it from a pure place of consciousness. And And if I roll back the clock and I look at how I visualize my present reality looking, yeah, there's bits and pieces that came right from the manifestation machine. And then there's just all this other stuff I didn't have the ability to visualize. And if I had gone purely on how I wanted it to look visualized, I would have missed all the great stuff that's going on, the true adventure that's happening, because my visualization was based upon ego, was filled with all sorts of residual baggage, and had a lot of subconscious minutia stuck to it. So what I try to do now when I go into visualizing the future is all I want to do is visualize the peace of mind, right? Wherever I am, I'm at peace with it. And that's been kind of a breakthrough, because I thought that visualizing the future, it had to look a certain way. It had to have like palm trees or a sunset or a snowy mountaintop or a bunch of laughing people or some guitar music or something. And now I've come to realize that that's all just window dressing on how I really want it to look. All I want to do is be able to be wherever I am and be there now. You get what I'm saying? Is if I start visualizing the future in a picture, I'm pigeonholing it. I'm hog tying it into a certain set of parameters. And what's going on is that parameter has all sorts of weird tentacles coming out of it, some good, some bad. So when we visualize it's supposed to look that way, we're forgetting about all the stuff that comes right after that moment and right before that moment. Because think about it like this. There were a bunch of people that were living their vacation fantasy over in Thailand once upon a time. Like, they were living their postcard moment, and a giant tsunami came up and washed them away, right? Now, is that going to happen? No. But if I were to push how I want it to look, and it's like, oh, I'm standing on a beach and I'm over in Thailand on some tropical island. Yeah, la-di-da. And then a tsunami comes and wipes me out. Where did my whole visualization go? You see, so I've moved more away from that whole concept because I realized that it might be coming from a corrupted grid, right? Because I don't need to visualize the future anymore. I just have to be present right here, right now, where God and creation exist. It all is happening right now. I don't need to go there. Yeah, do I? Because abundance is right here, right now. And that's why I got sabotaged a couple days ago with that job interview, because I was spending all this energy visualizing the perfect outcome, right? I visualized the perfect outcome and I was super don't let in alternative thoughts, like it could go wrong or this or happen, because I don't want that to influence my projected image of how it's gonna be. And so I sunk all that energy into projecting the perfect outcome, and when it wasn't perfect, I was deflated and I'd set myself up for failure. What I should have been doing is projecting myself in a place of nowness at that moment, where anything that happened to me was perfect because it was exactly what was supposed to happen to me, right? So that's really where I've gone. I've moved away from the whole that weird thing, put the $100 bill on your wall and visualize yourself rich, because I am in abundance. I am already rich. I just can't see it because I'm caught in this insane spacesuit with this crazy mind telling me all sorts of lies all day long. So if I get into visualizing how I want it to look based upon this, I'm doomed, man. Yeah, dude, do I want to score perfect right hand point break barrels? Absolutely. But do I need to waste any of my present moment, the nowness that I'm experiencing on that? No. It's bad. It's not, it's a waste of time, dude. And that's where I'm going, because things that I want to have happen have happened, but I haven't spent a lot of time focusing on, like, I'm going to get all, man, visualize it. I put them into the data machine, and because I was allowed it to all work out, it did. And I wasn't disappointed because I never really spent that much time visualizing something. It just appeared because it was supposed to appear. So I'm moving fully away from that weird sit and visualize stuff, make your cutouts, and I don't do any of that anyhow, but I'm just saying, like, there's a weird, I do it mentally, like, ooh, I want it to look a certain, no. I've moved away from that over the last couple years to, I just want to be present right now, because if I'm present right now and I can carry it to the next moment, I'm doing what I truly want it to look like, which is be in a place of happiness, bliss, understanding in this moment right now. So yeah, I got a spare tire in my car, but I'm not getting a flat today. And if I do, I got a spare tire. I don't know if that really made any sense. It's sort of a deep, complex thought I'm working on there, so.